technology, you can be a little bit, hesitant to try to take that on. But when we talk about AI, it's not just another regular tech tool, because really, one thing that you've mentioned before is the ability for it to bridge the gap between, what would help grow the practice and those daily tasks that kind of get in the way of it. So how is it AI itself uniquely positioned to bridge that gap between, being able to grow, but also taking care of that day to day? What does that look like in the practice?
Yeah, I think I would focus this a bit on some of the opportunities or the gaps that traditional software presented. And we were talking about a system that was built around databases that capture inputs, data, and then are able to utilize them in different workflows. And then that data translated into ways to automate those workflows so you could do 2 or 3 steps in a row, as long as it was very refined and specific set of actions. You could say, if this, then that, and you could complete an entire workflow if it was 100% defined and there were no decisions that needed to happen. Automation allowed practices, companies to do that sort of activity, but it breaks down when there has to be a decision made and a human has to step in and click a button or run a report or return a call or whatever it might be that has to be influenced by a human in the middle of that automation. The automation falls down, and that's where AI really is able to do something quite different and solve some of these challenges, because it can decision and reason and take action and be able to close the loop. An example of that would be patient texting in the evening after hours. They want to reschedule. The AI doesn't follow a workflow and create a task. It actually interacts with the patient to solve a problem. And it does that based on the rules and the types of policies that have been set by the practice, but it's able to do that through the language model that's there that allows it to have a natural conversation, even through different channels. Or when someone calls with a simple question, AI can answer that with exactly the right answer. It can reason through what are they asking about and how do I answer this question based on the inputs that I have. And that's unique to AI and goes beyond what automation would typically do. And so since this system is learning, it's continuing to adapt to take the practice's preferences, schedule rules, requirements around insurance, the type or style of communication that the practice wants to use. It adapts, and it doesn't stay as static the way software traditionally did, where you built it once, you configured it, the workflow ran until it couldn't do anymore. The AI brings in the ability for us to be more nimble and get around some of those historical challenges. And I think that's really the big breakthrough here.
Yeah, and I think, and what comes to mind is just the difference between a chat bot and an actual AI receptionist, being that it's intuitive, it can understand the need of the patient and really have that conversation with them. I think the key word here is the conversation, right?
I think that's exactly right. It is a back and forth, and that's the type of experiences we have and we expect to have with humans. And that is the experience that AI is able to replicate more naturally.